Today's destination is Lebanon, where we'll be talking to this week's special tour guide, special guest Dr. Ahmed Khalil, about the cuisine's cultural value before venturing to a popular Manchester restaurant to see what makes this country's food so special to the consumer. Then we'll finish our journey off by teaching you a classic Levantine dish. So get those taste buds ready and ready for today's episode of Pristine Cuisine. Hello and welcome back to Pristine Cuisine, the show where you can travel across a world of delicious dishes right from the comfort of your own home. Today's destination is the beautiful Republic of Lebanon, where we can find delicious dips like hummus to the much-loved desserts like baklava. I think it's safe to say on this week's culinary trip, we won't be short of well-seasoned and exciting dishes. Joining us today is special guest Dr. Ahmed Khalil. Dr. Khalil is an Associate Linguistics Lecturer of Arabic at the University of York, as well as the chair of the York Sanctuary Fund's Boards of Trustees since 2020, and a translator of poetry. However, today he'll be acting as our tour guide to help us better understand Lebanese food. Thanks for coming on the show today.
You're welcome, Catherine. Thank you very much.
So we're discussing food from a wide range of places in the Middle East. Do you feel there's a lot of kind of crossover and similarities between them?
Oh yes, like the Middle East in general, like have lots of similarities across the cuisines, from like stretching from Iraq till Morocco. Yeah.
Again, what kind of those similarities?
Well, there are cultural similarities. There are also similarities, for example, in the concept or the ingredients they are using. For example, like say, for example, generally, let's say, olive oil is an integral part of the Arabic cuisine. Let's say, for example, and this is used across the cuisines across the Arab world. There's also, for example, in terms of culture, for example, the concept of generosity. And this concept is reflected in the way, for example, food is eaten, presented, served. For example, the concept of sharing, let's say, is something that we do across the cuisines in the Middle East and in the Arab world, and this is because of the concept of generosity, say. So, and that leads to, for example, eating, let's say, in larger plates where all people sit together and share the food.
So it's kind of more of a sharing platter rather than the quite isolated way we eat it in England.
No, this does not. I remember when I was working in the University of Baghdad, we used to, like when we have lunch time in the university, we used to sit all together. Like all the staff, we used to go and sit in one of the halls or one of the rooms, and then we all eat and we all share the same food. Or we all share like what we bring from our homes, like with us. So we do this every day, but eating alone, even in some kind of cultures, let's say tribal cultures, like in Iraq, for example, or the Gulf, is a kind of a shameful thing to do.
Well, thank you, Dr. Khalil, for helping us understand Lebanese food a bit better, and a bit more about its origins and the representation of these wonderful foods. Now, the next part of our trip to Lebanon is all about finding out how the food tastes and what makes it unique. For this, we visited a Lebanese restaurant in Greater Manchester and asked customers and waiters what they thought.
All the materials is fresh. The meat, the kind of the vegetables you eat, tabbouleh, you eat fattoush, you know.
Very different. It's going to be something on the menu, I guess, that everybody will like.
I like the freshness of the food and the different use of like the meats and vegetables.
Mediterranean food is far fresher, so we just have something with parsley in it.
Yeah, it made me feel like to slow down and eat the food rather than just eat. You eat it slowly, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, this restaurant is named Sham restaurant.
Yeah.
What's mean Sham? Sham is Jordanian, Lebanese, Palestinian and Syrian food. For all this we say Mediterranean food. Exactly the same dishes for all the 4 countries, and the 4 countries is named Shamil.
I like Mexico.
What's the Balkan dish? And I wouldn't normally choose Orgy, but that's just
To be honest, the starters is very famous. The tabbouleh, the hummus, the mutabbal, the muhammara, the fattoush with all kind of the salad.
Prawns, don't we? Starters, kebabs, and the meat, the bread. Just different. The bread is
Well, I hope that made you all hungry, because this brings us to the part of our journey where I teach you how to make the classic Levantine salad, tabbouleh. This dish is served typically as part of a meze, which is a collection of smaller dishes that make together a much larger meal. It's a simple and healthy option for any time of the day, with its own celebration every year in Lebanon on the first Saturday of July. So, let's make some tabbouleh. Now, first thing you'll need is a bit of bulgur wheat, only around 12.5 grams, though do make sure to pre-soak it for about 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. Once you've gotten all that in there, now it's time to take the rest of our fixings. So make sure to get a bit of white onion, nice bits of tomato, and an important part here, parsley. Now you'll want to get as much parsley as possible. This is where the flavour is. Just drown your dish in parsley. Next up, now is a nice variety of some of our British viewers. There are going to be some seasonings in this. So we'll have a bit of mint, a dash of lemon juice, again just to taste, this is all what you prefer. Tiny drop of oil just to lubricate everything. Get a bit more of that out there. And just a bit of garlic, again, just to whatever you'd see, whatever you prefer to taste. And finally, just to finish off, crack of pepper and a dash of salt. Just try and get some out there. There we go. Once you've got all that, just make sure to mix everything together. And that's it. Just taste a spoonful. Refreshing, tasty, just the perfect thing for really a summer's day around here. Now, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our trip to Lebanon. So thank you to this week's tour guide, Dr. Khalil, for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed the tabbouleh. If you want to access any of the recipes or anything else from our previous weeks, please scan the QR code coming up on the screen below. Please join us next week when we journey to India to learn about the past and present the cuisine of its history and how to make a nice simple buttered chicken. But until then, goodbye and good dining. I forgot how stressful a fucking it is.